Hello, adventurers of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 23rd episode of our Feat series. Are you in a party right now where no one is playing Cleric or Divine Sorcerer or anything like that? You got no heals? If that sounds like your party, then I would highly recommend taking this feat. At least one of you. You gotta. Honestly, it'll save you a lot. Today we're going to be taking a look at Healer. This feat is found in the good old trusty Player's Handbook. Before we take a look at the description and break it down, let me just tell you what feats are and how to use them. So, feats are what you get if you decide not to go for your ability score improvement. And they are essentially extra abilities, features, and skills you can give your character to make them a little bit more customized and have them complement your playstyle a little bit more. That being said, you get them every 4 levels or so. Some classes get them a little bit more frequently, but every 4 levels is a generally accepted rule of thumb. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the description for Healer. First and foremost, there are no prerequisites for this feat, and that is incredibly important because it has saved many parties from being TPK'd. Let me read from the description as written. You are an able physician, allowing you to mend wounds quickly and get your allies back in the fight. You gain the following benefits. When you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, that creature also regains 1 hit point. As an action, you can spend 1 use of a healer's kit to tend to a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points to it, plus additional hit points equal to that creature's maximum number of hit dice. That the creature can't regain hit points from this feat again until it finishes a short or a long rest. Very cool stuff, a lot to unpack there though. That being said, let's take a look at the walkthrough and let's really break that down. So first and foremost, when you stabilize with a healer's kit, you give them 1 hit point back, which means they can hypothetically get back into the fray. Some DMs allow this, some don't. I've played games DMing either or. I find it personally doesn't make a huge difference. I mean, I could see it kind of upsetting action economy just a little bit, but for the most part, I don't think it's that bad. If you want to use a full action and use 1 use of the healer's kit, you can add 1d6 plus 4 in addition to the maximum of their number of hit dice in health points. Now, as you might imagine, this is part of the reason this feat's so good, by the way. Because of that, it actually lets you scale it up with levels, which is super helpful. Not a lot of feats scale with levels, and when they do, it is kind of minimum. I suppose this is a little bit minimum as well, but, whatever. Now, the second sentence in that second body there, a creature can't regain hit points from this feat until it finishes a short or long rest. Now, there's 2 ways to interpret this. The way I personally interpret it is you can really only benefit from these features once a day, kind of, or each character can. However, there's an argument to be made that due to the exact wording, it says hit points, as in plural. And the first part, when you stabilize a dying creature, it gains 1 hit point, is singular. And because of that, it kind of implies that you can use the stabilize equals 1 hit point part of the feat several times within the span of a day. Really interesting stuff. With all that broken down, let's take a look at my personal thoughts. As I mentioned earlier on, this is perfect for those parties who do not have a designated healer but find themselves getting taken down quite a bit. It's a great kind of way to lengthen encounters and increase the survivability of your group as a whole, without necessarily taking a level dip. So I think it's quite well balanced in that regard. I know why it's there. In terms of who benefits from it most, honestly, I don't think any one particular class has a better advantage over another's. I mean, maybe fighters might have a little bit of an advantage just because of action surge, but outside of that, it really depends on party composition more than anything else. That being said, if you guys have any alternative uses, any playstyles, or any builds you'd like to try out, please put them down in the comments beneath. I love reading them, and I know everyone else tuning in does as well. With that being said, guys, have a great day, and as always, happy adventuring.